Welcome to week 5 of our study of Philippians. And today, I want to talk to you about good friends. As you probably know, I was a preacher's kid, and I went to 4 public schools while I was growing up. And every time we moved, I knew that on Sunday morning, I would go to Sunday school. Even though I was a little anxious about it, of course, meeting new people and coming into a new situation, I always knew that the people in that room would be good friends with me. As I graduated, went to college, and then in seminary, and in starting my churches, I always looked for friends who I could talk to and spend time with, and I could encourage and who could encourage me. I remember in Heber Springs, the last church I was there 12 years, and I had a hard time finding a group to meet with. I did things with people, of course, and I had great friends at Heber, but I couldn't get a life group. For some reason, I'd start wanting to die, or they'd expect me to do it all, and it just didn't work out. And then toward the end of my ministry there, some young men invited me to their life group. We'd drink coffee, we'd watch a video, and then we'd talk about the video, and then we'd talk about life. And what I appreciated about that group is, of course, I was their pastor. They knew I was their pastor, but I was also their friend. And we could be honest with each other, and they didn't expect me to be perfect, or they didn't expect me not to have struggles with my teenage children, just like I knew how hard it was to raise, preschoolers and kids in elementary school and trying to balance work and life. And we spent some time doing that and doing life together, and it meant the world to me. So much so that when I moved to Jonesboro, first thing I did is I put a public announcement that I'd be at a coffee shop on Friday mornings at 6 if anybody wanted to join me. And my goodness, we had a crowd. We don't have a crowd anymore at my life group on Friday mornings, but we always have a group that meets. And some of them are the same people that have been meeting for 16 years. We drink coffee. We watch a video. We talk some about the video and about our lives. Some of it's religious. Some of it's just life itself. But it's meant the world to me. I am absolutely certain that I could not have sustained ministry without good friends. I think about Paul. Paul had it way harder than any of us. Shipwrecked, imprisoned, beaten, stoned. They thought to death. And yet he just kept getting up and kept going. How'd he do it? Well, of course he had faith. But we see in Philippians chapter 2 that he also treasured his friendships. This is what Paul says in Philippians 2, starting in 22. But you know that Timothy has proved himself, because as a son with his father, he has served with me in the work of the gospel. I hope, therefore, to send him as soon as I see how things go with me. And I am confident in the Lord that I myself will come soon. But I think it's necessary to send back to you Epaphroditus, my brother, co-worker, and fellow soldier. Do you see how he talks? Those are deep words. Who is also your messenger, whom you sent to take care of my needs. For he longs for all of you and is distressed because you heard he was ill. Indeed, he was ill and almost died. But God had mercy on him, and not only him, but also on me, to spare me sorrow upon sorrow. Do you see the intimacy that he has with his friend Timothy and Epaphroditus? Maybe more surprisingly, in chapter 4, he talks about 2 women. Apparently, they're not good friends, or they're not getting along. But listen to what he says. I plead with Euodia and I plead with Syntyche to be of the same mind in the Lord. Yes, you, my true companion, help these women, since they have contended at my side in the cause of the gospel, along with Clement and the rest of my co-workers, whose names are in the book of life. Isn't that beautiful? They've contended side by side with me in the cause of the gospel. Now, what's so remarkable about that? It's not surprising that Paul had men friends, but that he also had women co-workers. In the Jewish faith, men and women were highly segregated. Men who were not part of the family did not associate with the women of that family. They were segregated. And yet Paul has seen in Christ the breakdown of those barriers, so that now Paul can talk about these women as good friends, as co-workers in the work of Christ. I hope you're finding an opportunity to be friends with some people. I hope you're growing deeper in your friendship with them. If you're not, you pray and ask God to reveal how you can grow more closely to those you're with. I would also like to challenge you, if you're not a part of a life group and you're watching this video by yourself, I would want to challenge you to say, Lord, show me where I can find some good Christian friends, men or women that I can spend life together, and persevere in that. We're so glad you're part of these life groups. I hope you'll join us next week as we continue in our series on Philippians. And again, I want to thank you for being willing to risk finding new and better friends. And thank you for putting Jesus first in your life.